Matt, what would you say is the return on investment? For
Well, I
something
mean,
like
look,
this?
it's a hard. It's
For
not.
us, I think it's easy. Like it's
Is there an actual dollar amount? Okay, maybe. So
you could maybe quantify that. It depends on your business. Like if I had a business and I didn't have QA, right, and then I said, you know what, I want to have structured QA. So let's say they go in, they say, hey, Greg, let's book an hour. I'm going to open up Orange QC. I did this with what's his name from the Cayman Islands.
yeah, I know who you're
You
talking
know,
about.
I was like, you know, why don't you log me into yours? And he paid for a couple hours, and I made his Orange QC like ours, so it's structured.
Yep.
He went from, you know, losing accounts every single month to now not losing accounts. Not only not losing them, to saying, hey, look, I'm not making enough money here. You know, to opening in that communication with his employees, because now you're intentional. You're also not just doing QA. You're walking in with your employees and be like, hey, and they're like, you know why we can't get out of here? Look at all this. This is why. They come in here every day, and now we have to do all their dishes, which is a thing in the Cayman Islands. I didn't know that they'd have to do all their dishes and like put the coffee cup back on the desk, which, hey, we had to bid for.
That's fine if you're bidding for it.
But that's the return on investment. And we can look at the return on investment as well, because we dealt with the same thing. And then now we're like, hey, send someone out to QA it. I mean, called and complaint, send someone out to QA it.
I'm going to say that the return on investment is also on the labor side, right? Because what a structured quality control system does is create a verification process that it makes it impossible for someone not to do their job. So if I have people who are out using Orange QC to do their job, whether that be account managers or quality control, quality assurance people, I know
warehouse person doing it.
I know when they're there, what they saw, and if we start getting complaints, then we can use our HubSpot AI complement guy or companion, whatever they call him,
and yank it all
and be able to pull all that information out, and then be able to say, okay, these are the issues that we've seen. But if they don't do that, then you start wondering, right? Like, what are they actually doing, right? Are they trying to, just be smart and like work from home or do whatever, right? So these are, it creates an accountability culture that to me is a huge return on investment, because
we've had people in areas that just have quit because we implemented something like this. Like, you have to do this amount. And they'll come in like, I don't see a geofence. You need to turn it on your phone. It's a company phone. Okay, let me turn it on. And then within a month, they're like, you know what? I found another job.
Yeah, because
they don't want the accountability.
Employee engagement at the highest level in the nation on average. Okay, just take a guess at what a high number of employee engagement is.
70%.
Okay, I'm going to ask Moses. Take a guess at what a high level of employee engagement is in a company? What's considered high
like people
engagement?
that come to work and actually, get there, sit down at their desk and work the whole time.
This is based on a national average of like huge companies.
I would assume it's like 80%.
Okay, so this is going to really surprise you. It's just over 50%. Just over 50%. But if that were the case with companies who are tracking it, that are trying to get people to do what they're supposed to do with accountability systems, it's just above 50%. Can you imagine what your company is if you're not focusing on that? Right? If you're not focused on verifying work,
and not just that, like Matt talked about Connect Team, same thing with them is geofence. Not only just geofence, because we've learned employees get smart with that too. I'll leave my phone on the cart, and I'm in the parking lot sleeping. So they can also leave little
true story
breadcrumbs. Like you have to have on breadcrumb mode, so I know you're actually moving around.
Yeah.
So that's what the return of investment of any of these things could be. If you could make someone, let's say 10% more, engaged in the company because of this, it's a big return.
It's a sad state that we have to basically put like a leash on people, right? But you have
to have a door lock on your doors, not to keep honest people out.
No, amen.
Same situation.
All right.
That's the lock on your front door.
All right. I don't live in a neighborhood where I can leave my door unlocked.
I might, but I don't do it.
Yeah, I would. My wife sometimes will. Julie will just leave the back door open. I'm like, okay, whatever. But I would say that the return on investment is going to be employee engagement, ensuring that they're doing what they say they're going to do when they say they're going to do it, knowing what their production rates are going to be, and that you're getting as much as you possibly can from the people who are utilizing the QC systems. And you
including ad service. Like we put ad service on
have
ours.
ad services.
Part of the problem,
Yep.
part of their requirement before they can close it out is they have to take a picture of the carpet, tile, whatever it is, windows, and like, yeah, this stuff needs to be done. Then we call in, like, if we notice we were in there and your windows look dirty, we'd like to come do that. That's another return on investment. It will pay for itself.
It will pay for itself. QA systems are designed to get the out. Like that, I mean, that's really what it is. Like, yeah, you're protecting brand standards, you're doing all these kind of things, you have receipts, you have all that stuff. I don't want bad people in our organization.